Hello and welcome back to the channel. It looks a bit of a mess, but I've pre-prepared basically what I'm trying to say, pumpkin pie. We are making a pumpkin pie today. If you do like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, subscribe down below, and let's get straight into it. So basically a pumpkin pie is, I actually thought it was main, but actually it's a dessert, turns out, because it's wheat pastry. So I've started to prepare stuff because my videos can be quite long, and I think the chicken and mushroom pie took 15 minutes and it actually took 50 minutes, whereas this could quite easily take the same length of time. So I pre-prepared a few bits and bobs. So we're making a pumpkin pie. I've got a recipe on my laptop because I can't print at the moment. My sister decides to use all of it up in like a week, and it renews monthly. So my recipe's on the side. I don't want to put my laptop on here and get it dirty. So today we're making a pumpkin pie. So I'm going to briefly talk you over what I've done. So you get a pumpkin pie, you get a pumpkin basically, and I have pumpkin seeds everywhere, so I need to do a good sweet, because I keep them up with flour weekly, well, recently. So you get your pumpkin, I ideally would probably peel it before you chop it, but depending on how big your pumpkin is, you only need 700 grams. So you may not need the whole thing. I'm going to try and just use this, and I'm going to wrap this up in cling film and get this in the fridge. Basically, once you get this stage, and it's maybe pre-peeled, you scoop all the insides out, get this top off, and then you basically chop it up. So that's what we're going to do. That's going to get cling film back in the fridge. So it is the toughest veg ever, so you do need some muscle to, it's just a rough cut. So it's a mirepoix of pumpkin. It's the world's toughest veg to chop. If you think butternut squash is hard, think again when it comes to this. Try and get all the peel off. So weigh your pumpkin, because you only need 750 grams. I need exactly half of mine. So if you want to know size reference, this pumpkin is 1,400. Basically, I need half of it. So, I also once you've done the inside, once you've got all the insides out, you need to once you've got all the insides out, you could do with giving it a quick rinse to get all like the residue and like bits off. But these bits don't necessarily come off when you wash it, just keeping it clean. And any stringy bits you can always get off yourself. So this takes about 15, depends on how small you cut it. But with it being quite a tough veg, you may not be able to get it that small. So 15 minutes if it's quite small. If you've got some bigger pieces, which I don't blame you, because my hand is like bright red because it's that tough. If you've got a bigger knife, try and use the top part of your knife. That's the way to master. So scared of putting myself at that tough. So there might be another pumpkin video with this other half. Who knows? But I am doing a dessert also today, which will go out tomorrow. I say that. It depends if there's time. So I'm now going to boil the kettle. You need a loose bottom pie tin. And I'm not sure I've got one. This is the best I could find. And then you put the lid on and it boils away for 15-20 minutes. And then we prepare everything else. So there's a lot to prepare. So it is going to be a lengthy video. I know the chicken and mushroom pie was about 50 minutes. This could quite easily be that sort of length. I'm going to try and get... I have got a dessert to make as well today. So if there's time, I'm going to make that. If not, I'll make it in the morning. But this video will go up today. But realistically, it's not going to be 4 PM. So when you see it go up late, that's why. Realistically, it's not 4 PM. Also, if it's dessert I make, I'm not going to spoil it, but if it doesn't matter whether I do it after this or tomorrow morning, as long as it's up for tomorrow at 4 PM. And then, I've still got one more video to do, and I'm going to do a food challenge, because I know food challenge is a bit more exciting to watch. Also, what I have discovered is brand new Percy Pigs. And the brand new Percy Pig is party time. If you've ever had Percy Pigs, you'll know that is £1.65 for one packet, or you can get 2 packets of £3, so it's cheaper to buy 2. So they're the new ones. I wanted to buy them, and I'm like, no point spending £1.65 on one when you get 2 for £3. So I also got the Halloween ones, which I had last year, and they were very, very nice. So my laptop's over here, so we need to check what we're doing. Party ones are very, very nice. And it's currently 12:20, and once I've made this, I'm going to have lunch, so it takes ages. This recipe takes forever. This is like the longest recipe probably ever. This is a lengthy video. Hopefully I have time to do the other thing today, and whilst this is, I could have lunch whilst it's cooking, it takes that long. So these are what the Percy Pigs look like. Yeah, so good. Couldn't help myself. So to get this pumpkin, I am missing one ingredient. Now, whether this affects the whole recipe or not, I don't know. But the first thing we need to do, this is going to go to the side to get wrapped up later. I've pre-blitzed in 2 batches, because this is quite small, my butter and flour. So in the recipe it says have a pre-prepared one, but you can always just make your own. So this is simply just blitzed up breadcrumbs. But it's simply flour and butter, and then we need 1 egg yolk, so that means separating an egg. Also, I'm meant to put ice and sugar in, but I don't have any, which I'm actually surprised at. And I'm not going all the way to the shops to get some ice and sugar. So I'm going to do this over a bin. You don't actually need the yolk. Actually, I might do it over the. The thing is, you need the yolk but not the white, so I might do it over the sink. Because usually what I do is I let the yolk, the white, run through my hand, through my fingers, so then you have your yolk like on your hand, like that. But you need the yolk, and then you have to wash your hands, and you've got like egg all over it. And then if you do it over the sink, you just literally drop your shell into the sink. And obviously you have to put it in the bin later, but also I am cautious that I need to do some washing. I urgently need some washing because I ran out of running clothes. Now running tops and socks and my trousers could do with the wash. But I am cautious that if I put the washing machine on, you can't hear me cook. So I also need to speed up so I have time to wash. I mean, it's currently 12:20, so I've got 2 spoons, one was pumpkin, one was not. So I'm going to mix this around. Mix it in. You can almost like forget about your... You can almost kind of like forget about your pumpkin. Because that's going to actually... You actually need to remember what time you put your pumpkin on though. Or just remember to keep checking it. So what you want to do is you want to squeeze this pastry through your fingers. Through your fingers. If you have to add a touch of water, add it. But when I mean a drop, I mean like a couple of drops. Just so it like lovely combines. So I'm going to put a few drops in. And you could do with lukewarm. Lukewarm is the temperature of the water. Lukewarm is the temperature of the water. You don't want it too cold, but you also can't have boiling hot water. And then once it's all combined, and pray this is enough because I went for a different... I'm actually not convinced you need chopping board anymore, so... And you could do with a cleaner table. Today is 100% chance of rain, so chances are you might hit some rain. It's 100% pretty much the entire day. It hasn't rained for a while, so it's probably due to rain again. And it's probably going to rain when I run because that's just how life rolls these days. So we've got our pastry there. Now I'm going to check what we do next. Let me just keep it on. So, I'm gonna just stick with a tiny bit of flour so it doesn't like stick. I'm actually doing some more flour, but it might be a different flour, I'm not sure. I'm going to get it wrapped up in cling film and in the fridge for, well, it does say at least 15 to 30 minutes. I'm on a different recipe for the pastry because the actual recipe says, I didn't check the recipe before, it says pre-prepared, it just says ready prepared short crust pastry, and I'm like, well, I know I make my own, so I bought flour instead of pastry. So anyway, this is going to go in the fridge, and we've got some preparing to do. It's not like you've got to wait around, there is still stuff to do. This is why I said it's a long video, because there's so much. It's a long video because there is so much that needs doing. It's one of them videos. The chicken and mushroom pie took 50 minutes. This is probably going to take the same, so you need patience. So, we're going to put some ingredients in a separate bowl now, but I'm trying to find a bowl. This bowl will do. So, in this we're going to put, in a separate bowl, combine the sugar, salt, nutmeg, half a cinnamon, mix the beaten egg, melted butter and milk, and then add the pumpkin puree. So, we need sugar, we need 140 of caster sugar. So get this pastry bowl out of the way. We need 140 caster sugar. I pre-prepared some stuff, but not everything because it takes time. So that pumpkin's doing well. I should probably basically making a pumpkin puree. That's basically what we're doing. And I'm cautious of being 15 minutes and I've barely started. We need 140 sugar. I better have 140 in it because I don't have any more. 140. before the sugar, it's raining again. Salt, we need half tablespoon of salt. That's just a drop of salt. Nutmeg, I do believe I have. Grounded nutmeg. So after that it says nutmeg. Nutmeg is half a tablespoon, so we're just going to put dash of nutmeg in. Cinnamon. Oh, I'm not sure I have the cinnamon. I say that. Grounded nut. I think I've got all that. Thing is with this cupboard is half of them say grounded ginger. I'm not sure I've got cinnamon, so we might have to miss the cinnamon out. We don't have cinnamon, so miss the cinnamon out. We might, well, it might taste alright. 2 eggs beat. We need to add 2 eggs. I have 2 eggs left in my thing. A large 6 eggs. I bought this ingredient a couple of days ago, and of course they've used my eggs. The good job I only needed 3 eggs for this because they only left me 3. I'm like, nice of them to actually leave me eggs. So I'm going to have to put these straight in the bin. We need some movement on this table. And now I'm going to give it a mix up. Now the next thing we've got to do, I have actually already put the butter back in the fridge, but we need some more now. Now we're melting this butter, and I'm debating to put it in the microwave rather than just bang it in a pan. It's like an eggy mixture, but the what do you call it? The pumpkin thickens it up. Thickens it, that's the word I'm looking for. Thickens. We need melted butter. 25 grams of melted butter. That is literally like a tablespoon. So we'll only take about 30 seconds to melt in the microwave. And I can't really. So that is going to melt in the microwave. I took it everywhere, I can't even get to the microwave. I think, no, what am I doing? I think, realistically, I'm going to have a full clean up, a full tidy up before I think about the next bake, before I cook the dessert that I'm making next. This is technically a dessert, but like, I'm making a white chocolate dessert, that's all I'm going to tell you. But what I'm saying is, I think I need to properly, like, fully clean and tidy before I consider doing that. And then if there's time I have to do it, if not, do it tomorrow morning. But I have to get it out I do have to get it out for 4 PM. That is my cooking. At the time I have videos out for. So we put the butter in there. We're going to have 175 milk. I'm going to pick the bowl up because I've got buttery hands. That is I'm getting butter everywhere. I don't know what else. This laptop goes off every 30 seconds, doesn't it? Takes about 40 minutes to cook, I know that much. I'm going to give this a whisk up, or a mix up. I'm going to check this pumpkin because we kind of need it now. But I don't know if it's been 15 minutes. Oh, some of the that massive bit was not cooked. I'll tell you that. Right, you know what? Let's get all this spoon, all of this to one side. Let's organise ourselves. And let's actually crack on. I can't get into the microwave anymore. The kitchen's the right tip. So what we're going to do is we're going to line. I have got a flour drencher, but it needs refilling. So that's probably too much. But we're going to line our tart tin, but mine's not really a tart tin because I don't really have one. Mine's still quite soft, but we live and we learn. You also want to dip. You also want to dip your rolling pin in the flour. You want to roll out your pastry. Normally pastry you roll it out to a pound coin thickness, so that's what we're going to do. And then you've actually got to blind bake this, so you should probably whack the oven on 180 degrees. Let's get this oven. Let's get this oven on. Let's get this pastry rolling out. So theoretically, this was in for about 10 minutes, I think, maybe 15. It did say 15 to 20, so I guess it just depends on. I'm actually not sure there's enough pastry here for the tin I've chosen, which is kind of annoying because with the close, I haven't actually got a tart tin, which is the most annoying part of all this. Just about fits, so I need a bit more width on it. Now what you want to do is you want to bring it up onto your rolling pin. The rolling pin, you kind of like lift it up. Lift it up onto your rolling pin. But you want to get your tin like underneath it, especially if it's like. But you do want some hangover because you're blind baking this. We are blind baking this. Any cracks, and you want to kind of like pull the pastry in. You want to like pull it in, like so. And we need to find. I need to find which hints I didn't do earlier because I'm organised but not that organised. Find your baking beans, which I always thought was in this cupboard. I'm prepared but not prepared, and that's always me. You can do it with rice. No, messed up. I messed up. You're meant to put parchment paper in, so then you can lift it out at the end. So now I've dented my pastry because I put the beads in on the pastry. I'm such. Because I know this video takes a while, I try and rush through it, it doesn't take as long. But then you just make careless mistakes. Hopefully I haven't dented it too much. So you want to get some parchment paper. I use parchment paper a lot, so it runs out quite quick, should we say. So with the other half of that, with the other half of the pumpkin, I might make pumpkin soup, but I have already done a pumpkin soup on this channel, so if there's no second video with the pumpkin, that's because I use it for like a pumpkin soup or something else that I've already done. So this now goes on a tray in the oven for 10 minutes on 180 degrees. and then you clear up while that's cooking. And if your pumpkin's cooked, you can start pureeing that during the 10 minutes too. So I'll see you then. Not gonna lie, it did take forever to get that through the sieve. It was pretty tough. But it's through the sieve. And now, it says, I think we just tip it in. So when you bake it, it's going to be on 160. So this tart should be all good and ready to go. Oh, it's a bit... I think that might be alright. We're only blind baking it. Been in for 15 minutes. So I think it might be alright. We're then going to pour the filling in, and then it bakes for 40 minutes on 160. So it does take that bit longer. Actually, it's pretty much ready now. I don't know why they don't take as long as the chicken and mushroom thing. So basically, you blitz. If I showed you how to blitz the pumpkin, it would have taken forever. So you basically just push it through a fine sieve. This is the sieve that I used. It took forever because my sieve's tiny. It just took forever. So that will take up 20 minutes probably. So that's why it takes time. I'm trying to find. I didn't actually clear the table in that time, but I did put some additional. So everything, theoretically, if this goes release like that, should. Oh my god, every single one went in. That never happens. But they are quite hot. I could actually pour it into a jug, but I feel like a jug is that bit. I feel like that jug's a bit, well, it's wasting more dirty stuff. I'm going to put this parchment paper could be used again if you blind bake anything, but realistically, that's not going to be used anytime soon. No, I'm not blind baking in my dessert recipe. And then you just pour it in like so. You're meant to fill it right to the top. I'm going to get a spoon now, even though I'm not doing anything else, to just scrape out the bottom bits. It is a bit thin on that edge, but hopefully it still works. You trim off all the excess after, but basically this is now going to go in the oven for 40 minutes, and then after we're going to get it out. If it's a loose bottom tin, it has to be, so it comes out. We're going to test it, we're going to try it. I'm not a huge fan of pumpkin, but I'm going to try it for you guys. And yeah, 160 for 40 minutes, and I'll see you then. I'm not really sure what it is. Simple is fact, I'm not sure what it is. It looks like cake in the middle, which I'm a bit confused by why it looks like cake in the middle. And I'm also confused. It came out clean, but it doesn't look cooked to me. So I'm a bit 50-50. I can't get the bottom off the tin. It looks a bit... Well, it came out clean, which usually means it's cooked. But I'm eyeing up thinking it might not be cooked, but it's too late now because I've taken out the tin. So the question is, does it taste alright? Which... know what it tastes like? egg custard with pumpkin. Yeah, that washing machine's really annoying. But it tastes like an egg custard with pumpkin in. It's not actually isn't that bad. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you very, very soon. Hint, next video is white chocolate.